Hello, so today we'll be talking about tuples in Python. And what is a tuple? Okay, a tuple is an ordered sequence of items enclosed in brackets, right? So, for any sequence of items that is enclosed in this bracket now is a tuple. So, that's it. What's the difference between a tuple and a list? The major difference is that tuple is immutable, whereas list is mutable. Some of the characteristics of a tuple in Python is tuple are ordered sequence. They can contain any arbitrary object, which means you can have a tuple with different elements of data type of different data types, right? And elements can be accessed using the index now. And as you said earlier, tuples are immutable and they are static, right? Which means you cannot like change them, you cannot change any of the elements in it. So how do we create a tuple? You can just go ahead by saying a is equals to bracket now. So this is an empty tuple now. So I should try and print out the type of this tuple. A, we will see that we are getting an empty tuple as a result of this. So you see now we are getting a class of tuple, right? So this is how you create a tuple, and I can just go ahead again and say b is equals to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I can go ahead and check the type of b and also try to print out b itself. So running this now, let's see what we get. So now checking the type of b, we have a tuple and we have this printed out as b, right? So this is how you like define a tuple in Python, and doesn't mean it always has to be the same data type. As I've said earlier, that tuple can contain any arbitrary objects, right? So I can just decide to say 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I should go ahead and see check the type of c and print out c itself, now you will see I'm still getting what what was expected, which is a class of tuple and this tuple right here, which is what we've inputted at this instance of c, right? So now we know that. And the last way you can create a tuple now is by using the tuple method, right, which is a constructor of the tuple class itself. So I can just decide now to say d is equals to tuple, and now I want to use this for a string name called Andrew will a. So let's put it this way now. If I should go ahead and run this now, see that every character, let me check the type of d and print out d also. So let's just go ahead and run this. Now see that every character in Andrew OA has been listed out as an element in a tuple. You can see the a down to the last full stop right here. So that's tuple now. So how do you access this tuple in an element? Tuple is just like work the same way like list. So let's use b as example here. You access each of these elements by using what we call indexing, right? So each of these elements are now have a specific index attached to them. So the first one is 0, then we have the second one to be 1, then we have 2, 3, and 4. So this is the positive index, and now we can also have negative index right here, whereas this will be -4, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1. So it worked this other way too. So if I should try and print out this b now to access in a particular index, now all I need to use is a square bracket after the name of the tuple itself and the index I want to access. So if I should try accessing index 0 now, you see we are getting 1 outside, which is equivalent to index -5, right? So run these two, we are still getting 1. So if it's -4, -3 instead, now what are we getting? we are getting 3, right? And we can just go ahead and say we want to get the index of 4, and now minus 1 will always give us the last element in this tuple. So this is how you access elements in a tuple. So what are the other things you can do with a tuple now? You can transverse a tuple. Transversing a tuple means accessing each element exactly one at a time. You can process this by accessing, after accessing a particular element, you can decide to process this or do something with it. So to transverse this now, we use a for loop, right? Using a for loop is just like for I in B. If B is a tuple, right? We want to print out I. So I should go ahead and run this now. You can see we are getting every element in this tuple individually, right? It's because we are accessing each and every one of them individually. And here again, I can just decide to say I want to add 1 to each one of them. So just go ahead and run this, and you can see it's now 2 to 6 instead of 1 to 5. Instead of 1 to 5. So that is how tuple work now in Python. So this is how you can access each element of a tuple. So how do you modify or delete an element of a tuple? So thing is, this B now, I can entirely change this B to another list of tuple by just saying 1, 2. Let me just use 1 and 2 like that, and now I can print out B. We are getting 1 and 2 because we modified this B, right? But if I should try to change a particular index itself, let's see what we are going to have right here. So if I'm trying to change 1 now to 1 in string and try to run this now, you can see tuple object does not support item assignment, which means you cannot modify individual elements in a tuple. You cannot modify them, and you cannot say you want to delete any one of them individually by using the del method right here. So I should run this now. Same thing, does not support item deletion. So you cannot modify individual item, but you can, what you can do now is you can modify the whole tuple as a whole. So I can delete. So what we can do now is modify this tuple as a whole by deleting the tuple itself. So here I can just say, now you can see that B is not defined because we deleted the whole tuple itself. So what are the operations now that we can perform on a tuple? So we have several operations that we can perform on a tuple. We can join two tuples together. That's concatenation of one or more tuple. So let's just go back to this, and let's say I have another tuple A, and this is 1 and 2. Now I want to join this together. I can just try and say print B plus A. So running this now is going to return a tuple with a combination of these two tuples, which is what we have down here on the terminal, right? So that's work quite all right. So the other operation we can perform with a tuple right here now is a repetition, right? And what do I mean by repetition? It just, it means by us saying and decide to say A multiplied by 4, which means I want the two elements in A individually to be repeated 4 times each. So if I should run this now, I have 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 4 times each, which is now from 2 elements now is now 8 elements, which is as a result of 4 times 2. And the next operation we can perform on the tuple is slicing. And how do we slice? So when slicing, we follow this format whereby we have just the way we do indexing, but not exactly how. We have this format right here, then we have the starting index, the stopping index, and perhaps a step. So to show you an example of this now, I'm just going to try and slice B. And now let's look at our index chart again right here. So let's try and slice from 0 to 3, right? So we want from 1 to 4, 0 to 3. So I'm going to go like 0 now to 3. So if I should go ahead and run this now, you can see that I'm having 1 to 3 and not 1 to 4. Why am I having 1 to 3 and not 1 to 4? This is because when you are doing this, the last index here, the stopping index is exclusive, while the starting index is inclusive. So don't forget that the stopping index now is exclusive while the starting index is inclusive. So for me to get to 3 now, I can just decide to say, for me to do 1 to 4, I will have to use 4 instead right here, index of 4 here. So if I should go ahead and run this now, you can see I have 1 2 3 4, which is 1 to 4. So let's say I want to have a step now, and I want to have just even numbers. I can decide to say I want to have a step of 2, and running this now is giving me odd numbers, but let's say 3 instead. So you can decide to have the steps we want to have right here, whereby it's just like jump one to the other. And one more thing you can do right here is start from the beginning like this and just specify the ending index right here. Now it assumes you are starting from index 0, and if you just put the starting index here without specifying the last index, assume we are taking it to the end. So I can just decide to make this 2 instead. Now you can see start from index 2 to the end. So this is how you slice in Python. So let's say we want to perform some little operation here right here, and we just want to go ahead and say we have a tuple right here, and we call this my tuple, and this is set to 1 2, let's say 1 2 3. So we have 1 to 14 right here, and what we can do with this 1 to 14 now is try to access the even slice and the odd slice of this. So I can just say now even slice now is equals to my tuple, and I want to slice this starting from index 0 right till the end and a step of 2. And I want to have odd slice also, so my odd slice now is going to be my tuple starting from index 1 right now with a step of 2. So index 1 to the end with a step of 2. So now I want to have the sum of both odd and even, so I can just say sum even equals to sum odd equals to 0 initially, and now for I in even slice, sum even plus equals I. And now I'm going to repeat the same thing for odd. Okay, odd slide, sum odd plus equal I. So we can just go ahead and say we want to print this out now. So you want to print this out now, you can just say, okay, let's use the formatted string here. Let's say sum, okay, even, okay, sum even. Then we can go ahead again and print out some odd, some odd. So let's go ahead and run this. Now we can get the sum of both even and odd number using our tuple. So let's just quickly talk about membership in a tuple. So membership is just a way of checking if an item is present in a tuple itself. So just go ahead and comment this now. So I can just simply say for, okay, I can just say is 2 in, and I can say I want to print out is 2, okay, 2 in my tuple. So this is going to return either true or false. So true is in my tuple, and I can check if it's not in my tuple also. Still not in my tuple, which is false, right? So this is how you work with membership operations in tuple. We're using tuple, right? Then let's talk about some tuple method. Just round up this tutorial now. So some tuple method we have here is index now. So I can just decide to say print, okay, my tuple dot index. I want to check the index of 3 or 4. So run this now, we're getting 3, right? Yes, so that's worked quite alright. So count now is going to return how many times an element occurred. 1. So if I should go ahead and add one more 4 here and run this again, 2, right? Because it up 4 appears twice in this tuple. And this tuple, we've talked about this tuple method that converts a sequence to a tuple. So let me just do that one more time. We're just saying something like p is equals to tuple Python. So this is a tuple class too that work quite alright with tuple, and we can go ahead again and use the length function as just check the length of this tuple. So you just say print length, okay, my tuple. So that will be very useful when you are working with this. And another thing that you can do right here is just like this. You can just decide to check, okay, let me leave this. Instead of using length now, you can decide to check the max digit you have right here, which is 12. You can decide to check the minimum digit you have right there. So, and which is also 1 awesome, right? Then you can just try to sum up everything right here. So we try to sum up everything right here now, and we are getting what, 82, right? So that is sum for you. Then we can also say we want to check the range, right? We can also create a tuple from a range, right? So I just say range, okay, starting from 51 to 60. Sorry, this should be a comma instead, from 51 to 60, right? So if I should go ahead and say, now I name this f now, right? So print out f. So let's go ahead and run this. So we get 51 to 60 as usual. This last one is exclusive. So that will be all we'll be saying. This will be all for today. Thank you for watching, and today we've talked about tuple. We've seen the operators you can use in tuple, the method you can use in tuple, how to create a tuple, and what a tuple is, the difference between a tuple and a list. So don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Code You Through. See you next time. Bye.